Hello YouTube, Crazy Robot Lady here with a request video. This comes from Shawn and family. So we have Lila, or Layla, I'm so sorry dear, and Fiona. They wanted to hear the alternate tracks for X-Men Deadly Games. So this time, instead of going with Kenny Gardner, we are going to go with Stephanie Beecher and make a lot of different choices along the way. If you guys want to hear the alternate tracks for X-Men Deadly Games, X-Men The Ghosts That Haunt Us, let me know. So, let's get to it.
The schoolyard is relatively quiet after class. 15-year-old Stephanie Beecher likes it that way. There are a few kids hanging out, but they leave Stephanie alone, and she leaves them alone. You see, Stephanie isn't like the other kids, and she's afraid that if everybody knew her secret, that she might be sent away. She might be hunted like the others, like her she's seen on TV. Stephanie Beecher is a very lonely kid. The stranger knows that. The stranger has been watching Stephanie from across the street. He is dressed in a white suit with a funny yellow shirt. He approaches Stephanie.
You're Stephanie Beecher, aren't you?
How do you know who I am?
I've seen you at the school. My name's Archie Kincaid. I work at the school. I've noticed you don't hang out with the other kids.
They don't like me.
Why not?
They think I'm different from them.
It's okay to be different, Stephanie. We're all different in our own ways.
I'm not different.
I'll bet you are. I'll bet you'd like to meet other people who are different too. People who will understand you and be your friend.
Stephanie has seen other people who are different on TV. She's always wished she could meet some of them. Ones like Storm or Rogue. The ones who are called the X-Men. Maybe this stranger is one of them.
I can take you to meet some other kids just like you. Would you like that?
Stephanie looks around, trying to decide whether she should go with the stranger.
Hi there. I bet you're wondering where I was. This is your good buddy 2XL, and you've just started an exciting adventure without even realizing it. This is an adventure I call Deadly Games, and you get to control everything that happens by answering my questions. My good pal, the narrator, will tell you the story. Then I'll ask you questions and tell you what your options are. You must follow all of my instructions very carefully and only press my buttons after I say the word now. Okay, make sure you follow all of these instructions and we'll create a really cool story.
Yeah.
Let's get going. Do you think Stephanie should go with the stranger? Press yes if you'd like Stephanie to go with Mr. Kincaid. Or press no if you think Stephanie should not go with Mr. Kincaid. Press yes or no now.
No! You should never get in a car with a stranger.
The idea of meeting other people like herself and making friends appeals to Stephanie. She is tired of being lonely. Archie Kincaid can feel that and smiles at her. He holds out his hand, but she refuses to take it.
Oh, Stephanie, we're going to have fun. I promise.
Stephanie shakes her head. She knows better than to go anywhere with a stranger. Archie tries to hide his annoyance. He was hoping that this would be easy.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
Suddenly, Stephanie feels a hand on her shoulder. She spins around to see a tall, long-legged woman.
I'm afraid you have no choice in the matter, dear.
The woman's sudden appearance and the fact that she is holding the biggest gun Stephanie has ever seen frighten the high school student. She reacts instinctively to what she perceives as a threat.
Stay away from me.
Well, I'm pleased that you did not have Stephanie go with the stranger. I worry about that, you know. Promise me that you'll never, ever go anywhere with someone you don't know. Unfortunately, it seems that Archie Kincaid has big plans for Stephanie Beecher. Luckily for Stephanie, someone else has witnessed her abduction. Professor Charles Xavier, founder of the Institute for Higher Learning. You see, Charles was in his ready room after school monitoring his computer system, Cerebro, for mutant activity. Cerebro picked up on the growling you heard when Archie abducted Stephanie, and Professor X is going to dispatch some of his students, mutants all, to investigate. In order to get this story underway, you need to remind me of one thing. Where was Stephanie when she met Archie Kincaid? 3, the schoolyard, or 4, the library. Please press 3 or 4 now.
3.
The Blackbird, a specially designed jet, hovers over the schoolyard where Cerebro recorded the unregistered mutant activity. It uses a cloaking device so that it cannot be seen by the local residents. Less than an hour has passed since Stephanie was abducted, but it is already dark. A door opens, and 4 of Professor Charles Xavier's students emerge. They are Team Leader Storm, with Jean Grey, Wolverine, and Gambit. They have been sent here by their teacher to investigate the unregistered mutant activity. Jean Grey uses her mutant telekinetic powers to fly herself, Wolverine, and Gambit to the ground, the 3 of them dressed in street clothes. They search the surroundings as Storm watches from above. All 4 are wearing small transmitter-receiver headsets so that they may remain in contact with the blue-furred beast who has been left to pilot the jet. Any sign of the mutant Cerebro located, Jean?
Nothing so far, Beast. My telepathic scans of the area aren't picking up anything unusual. What about you, Storm?
My aerial reconnaissance doesn't reveal anything unusual. Wolverine?
Because of his highly developed sense of smell, Wolverine is a natural tracker.
There are a lot of scents here, a lot of kids. However, there's one scent that's vaguely familiar. Someone who was wearing a lot of cologne so he wouldn't be recognized.
Who was it, mon ami?
Can't say for sure, Gumbo. Trail ends in the parking lot. I can smell the traces of brimstone.
That may have been caused by the mutant activity Cerebro recorded. Storm lands beside her teammates in the parking lot, and the 4 of them begin a thorough search of the area. The search is cut short by the sounds of flying jet engines.
Heads up, we got company.
Appearing on the horizon and approaching fast are 3 60-foot purple robots. They are Sentinels, and the X-Men assume their mission is to locate the new mutant. Knowing any opposition to the successful completion of their mission will be ended with extreme prejudice, the X-Men prepare themselves for action.
Who attacks first? Press 1 for the Sentinels. Press 2 for the X-Men. Press 1 or 2 now.
Get him! X-Men.
So you want the X-Men to go into action first. Okay, who is the first X-Man to attack? Press A for Storm, B for the Beast, or C for Jean Grey. Press A, B, or C now.
As soon as Storm saw the Sentinels, she knew that the X-Men were in danger. She flies high over the parking lot, hoping to draw the Sentinels away from any populated area of the town. Drawing on her mutant ability to control weather, she strikes at the robots before they can attack. There is a bright flash of light, and lightning strikes the robots. They sputter, and 2 of them fall to the ground, landing in the middle of an empty lot. The 3rd one, which took the least amount of damage, focuses on his attacker.
Attacker identified, mutant known as Storm, one of the X-Men. She is a danger to these units. She must be terminated.
The Sentinel's eyes glow, and lasers fire at Storm. She easily flies out of the range of the beams, only to be caught in the robot's fist.
Oh no!
Wow, with 3 Sentinels and 5 X-Men, there sure is a lot going on. What would you like to hear about next, friend? Press 1 for Wolverine to go into action against one of the fallen Sentinels. Press 2 for Storm to break free of the Sentinel. Or press 3 for the 3rd Sentinel to attack Gambit. Press 1, 2, or 3 now.
I think if this 3rd Sentinel goes after Gambit, it will probably be destroyed because Gambit has those explosive cards or whatever. Yeah! Come on, Gambit. knock him out of the sky like Duck Hunt. Whap, whap, psh, pew, pew.
As Storm fights to break free of the Sentinel overhead, Gambit goes into action on the ground. One of the fallen Sentinels has gotten back to its feet and is zeroing in on the Cajun hero. Gambit reaches into his pocket and produces a half-dozen playing cards. He uses his mutant ability to supercharge the cards.
I trust that this will make you think twice about attacking the X-Men.
Gambit throws the cards with unerring accuracy. They explode around the robot's head. The Sentinel shakes off the blows and fires a laser beam at the feet of the mutant.
Oh no!
Gambit dodges the attack nimbly. But the Sentinel strikes Gambit while he is in midair, knocking him to the ground. Before he can get up, the robot lifts one of its giant feet and begins to crush the air out of his chest.
Who comes to Gambit's rescue? Press A for Jean Grey, or C for Storm. Press A or C now.
Jean. A.
Jean Grey, seeing that Storm is on her way to help Wolverine, flies to assist Gambit as the third Sentinel crashes to Earth. Using her telekinetic powers, Jean raises the Sentinel off the ground. Gambit rolls out from under the robot, grateful for Jean's timely arrival.
Who sent you here?
This unit is not programmed to respond to your input.
If the Sentinel was a living, sentient being, Jean Grey could reach into its brain and find the answer she wants. Unfortunately, for something controlled by computer chips, that is not an option. She sets the robot on the ground, keeping it immobilized with her power.
Don't look like we're gonna get very far with this.
No.
I suggest we get out of here before the locals show up.
Gambit lifts some debris, charges it, and throws it at the fallen Sentinels. The resulting explosions destroy the robots as the X-Men return to their ship. While we were fighting with the Sentinels, Cerebro recorded another outbreak of the mutant brainwave activity we're here to investigate. It's 60 miles to the north. Beast turns his attention to piloting the ship. Within minutes, the Blackbird is flying over a deserted range of hills at the exact coordinates recorded by Cerebro. Jean Grey studies the computer readout.
The scanners indicate that there is some sort of facility hidden under the hills. It's partially shielded, so I cannot tell what is waiting there for us. There are two ways in. One is about 1.5 miles north of here by the lake. The second is about 2 miles west in a cave on the hill. There's no information available on defenses.
Well, what should we do? Split up and cover the area twice as quickly, or stay together for safety's sake?
Split up.
Well, before we deal with that question, I think it's time to take care of some other business.
Oh.
First, I want to know how good your memory is. What is the name of the child the X-Men are here to find? Is it B, Stephanie Beecher, or C, Kenny Gardner? Press B or C now.
B.
I'm glad you remembered Stephanie's name. Now I'll have a choice for you. Would you like to B, see how Stephanie is doing, or C, find out who R.G. Kincaid really is? Select B or C now.
Let's find out how Stephanie's doing. B.
Deep within the complex being investigated by the X-Men, Stephanie is seated at a table in a large, comfortable room, eating her favorite meal of lasagna and garlic bread. One of her hosts enters the room.
Hi, Ms. Locke.
Hi, Stephanie. Is everything okay?
Everything's great. I'm having a blast. When are the X-Men gonna show up like Mr. Kincaid promised?
Very soon, Stephanie. Very soon.
And now that we know that Stephanie's okay, it's time to get back to the X-Men. As you remember, they were trying to decide whether they should stick together or split up. And as usual, it's up to you. Press 1 if you want this team to split up, or press 2 if you think they should stay together. Please pick up your finger and press 1 or 2 now.
1.
Storm gives this a great deal of thought. Finally, she reaches the conclusion that it would be better to split up.
We don't know if this mutant's life is in danger. Assuming the Sentinels were on his or her trail, time is of the essence.
Storm assigns Wolverine and Jean Grey to one team to explore the entrance by the lake, while she, Gambit, and the Beast will take the entrance to the west through the cave.
Which team would you like to go with? Press B for Wolverine and Jean Grey, or C for Storm, Gambit, and Beast. Select B or C now.
The team relies on Storm's aerial reconnaissance, Jean Grey's psychic scans, and Wolverine's heightened senses of hearing to help guide them through the shadow-filled forest. The hike passes uneventfully. There is nothing to indicate any danger lurking on their path.
I keep waiting for some plug ugly to pop up and attack us.
My psi scans of the area don't pick up anything unusual.
What about the installation below us?
Something's blocking my scans. What about you, Beast? Does Cerebro show anything?
The portable unit shows nothing out of the ordinary. There haven't been any more flare-ups. The group walks along the shore of the lake. With the moon full, it looks calm and peaceful, but looks can be deceiving. Mutants can look just like humans, but may have hidden surprises. That's why everyone is on edge. Storm lands alongside of her teammates.
The door's up ahead. I didn't see anything.
I can't believe whoever built this place didn't put up some sort of security system.
Perhaps they didn't expect company.
The group enters a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing is a round door that reminds them of a cross between a vault and a manhole cover. Wolverine silences everybody and listens carefully. He can't hear any signs of movement. Jean Grey scans the area telepathically, but does not find any living thing.
Let's try it.
Jean Grey reaches out with her mind to telekinetically open the door, but finds that she is unable to open the hatch.
It's locked.
That's my cue.
Before becoming one of Professor Xavier's students, Remy LeBeau had been a thief in the streets of New Orleans. Storm allows him to try his luck, even though she is probably as good, if not better, at picking locks than he. She too had been a thief as a child, but for her, it was a matter of survival. Gambit is easily able to figure out the locking system on the hatch, and in less than a minute has the door open. Everybody steps back, waiting for something to happen. Wolverine takes a deep breath through his nose.
I don't smell anyone.
I don't feel anybody's presence.
All right, let's go down. But everybody be on your guard. This has been too easy.
The team goes down the ladder into the tunnel one at a time, led by Wolverine. There is the dim glow of red lights in the tunnel. As has been true all along the way, there are no signs of life. At the end of the tunnel, fluorescent light can be seen. They make their way to the light to find a metal corridor.
Is there someone in there?
I wish I knew. Somebody's gone to a lot of effort here. Before they can investigate further, there is an incredible flash of light and a loud electronic crash. When his eyes adjust, Wolverine can see that 3 of his teammates have vanished.
What happened?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Where'd Storm, Gambit, and Beast go?
That's a good question, and here's your opportunity to find out. What would you like to do? 3, stay here with Wolverine and Jean Grey, or 4, join Storm and the others wherever they went. Select 3 or 4 now.
Join the others.
Storm, Gambit, and the Beast had made their way into the complex, but were suddenly blinded by a bright flash. They realize they are no longer in the metal corridor. They are now surrounded by flames and lava.
Where are we?
It would appear that we have been transported somewhere.
I have tried to reach Jean Grey. We've lost contact completely. What does Cerebro show?
The Beast looks at the scanner. It's dead.
Which leads us back to my first question. Where are we?
Suddenly, the entire area is flooded with spotlights. They are surrounded by cameras and people. Over their heads, they can see a bank of video screens with the leering face of Mojo.
You are the guest stars of my Famo new production!
Mojo, we should have known. You've transported us to your dimension, where you play with the lives of mutants for the televised entertainment of the masses. This whole thing reeks of your overstated production values.
That's That's no way to talk to a producer who's just signed you to an exclusive contract. You are in my dimension. You must play by my rules.
What are your rules, Mojo?
Mojo's thin yellow lips curl back in a smile, revealing rows of teeth. The folds of skin on his immense globulous body shake as he laughs.
There's a woman after my own heart. Have your people give my people a call, and we'll do lunch. If you survive, that is.
Get to the point.
Mojo sneers, annoyed that the X-Man has no sense of dramatic build. With a sigh, he gets to the plot of his new production. Storm, Gambit, and the Beast have come to his dimension to retrieve the powerful new mutant that was kidnapped. Mojo is willing to return the child to the X-Men, but they will have to star in his new production, a retelling of the Orpheus myth, where Orpheus went to the afterlife to lead his wife back to the realm of the living.
The twist here is that you're leading the child back to Earth, and I, of course, will be trying to stop you. Think of the ratings we'll get.
What's the catch? To get his wife back to the land of the living, Orpheus could not look back at Eurydice. When he did, to make sure she was following him, she was lost to him forever.
Do you really think that I'm going to give away my shocking surprise finale? This is a closed set. You'll just have to improvise.
And if we don't go along with your game?
Simple. You're canceled, and the kid dies.
There is thunderous applause from the audience, and all the cameras zoom in on the X-Men. Beast, Gambit, and Storm look at each other, knowing that Mojo is likely to cheat in order to make his show more interesting. But do they dare not go along with his scheme if the child's life is at stake?
That, my friend, is up to you. What should they do? Remember, Mojo says their lives and the life of the young mutant are at risk. Okay, it's up to you. Should they go along with Mojo's scheme? Please answer by pressing yes or no now.
Okay, let me think about this for a second. If they don't go along, there's a risk that the kid could die, but also Mojo could cheat and everybody could die. It's been so long since I played this tape, other than the last time I played it for the YouTube audience. Oh well. I'll say they do go along, yes.
Although she hates to be manipulated, Storm agrees to Mojo's challenge. She does not want the unstable ruler of this dimension to hurt the mutant that they were tracking.
I knew that we could strike a deal. This should be good for a miniseries at the very least.
Where is the mutant, Mojo?
Didn't I tell you? You have to find the kid first. It adds dramatic tension, and you'd better get moving. We only have an hour before the news, and the cameras are rolling. Action!
The moment that Mojo yells action, a half-dozen people dressed in army uniforms rush out of the crowd and begin firing on the X-Men. Gambit throws several supercharged playing cards that explode at the feet of the soldiers as Beast rolls out of their line of fire. Storm creates a whirlwind that blows their attackers away.
So, where do you think we'll find this kid?
A lighted neon sign appears over Gambit's head, which reads, "This way to the new mutant." An arrow directs them to the left.
Should Gambit, Storm, and the Beast follow the sign? Press 3 if you want them to. Or press 4 if you want them to ignore it. Press 3 or 4 now.
4.
That certainly screams trap to me.
I couldn't agree more. I suggest we go to the opposite direction and at an accelerated pace. Another wave of soldiers fire at the mutants. Storm creates a whirlwind to sweep them away. The tank rumbles down the street, firing shells at the Beast. Gambit lifts some loose bricks and supercharges them. He throws them at the tank. The distraction allows him and the Beast to run down the street. Storm takes to the air to keep an eye out for any oncoming danger. They have enough of a head start to leave Mojo's army behind, but they aren't sure where to go next. Storm attempts to get her bearings from above, trying to find the best route. A camera flies up to Gambit for a close-up, and he destroys it with an explosive card.
Where to next, mon chéri?
Mojo could have hidden his prisoner anywhere.
The Beast realizes they are standing over what looks like a manhole cover. But he did say that he is basing this story on the myth of Orpheus's trip to the underworld. My bet is that the kid's underground. Gambit and Storm agree, and the three of them lift the cover and go down the ladder.
What is waiting for them in the sewer? Is it one long shot or two Magneto? Please pick up your finger and press 1 or 2 now.
Oh, lovely. Let's see. Oh, who would we rather face? Long shot is a goof. Magneto is blooming dangerous. So... ah! All right. The lesser of two evils. We'll go with long shot. Magneto has... Let's see. Is Wolverine with him? I think he is. So... No, he's not. No, he's not. Wait a minute. Let's see. Gambit, Storm, and Beast. So he can't... Magneto can't rip metal out of anybody. He can still suffocate them, though. He can still, stop the iron from circulating in their blood or whatever. Yeah, let's go with long shot. 1.
Storm, Gambit, and the Beast reach the bottom of the ladder and find themselves in a dark, dank sewer. They can hear the steady flow of water rushing by. The walls are lined with phosphorus, lending the tunnel an eerie glow. There is movement, and the X-Men freeze, expecting to see rats or stray dogs. What they find is the former X-Man with long blonde hair and the glowing eye.
Ah, Longshot, you are a sight for overstressed optic nerves. Are you here to aid us in our escape from this lunacy?
Longshot raises a rifle-like energy weapon and fires it at his ex-teammate.
I'm afraid not. I'm here to kill you.
The Beast dives for cover as Longshot fires over his head.
I thought you were our friend. Why are you trying to kill us?
Because betrayal sells. My Q ratings will go through the roof when the folks at home see me kill the X-Men.
Longshot opens fire on Gambit and Storm, and they scramble to avoid being shot. Storm holds off attacking Longshot, fearing that she might hurt their friend.
We thought about calling me Dark Longshot, but I think Sure Shot has a zippier sound. Don't you agree?
An energy bolt flies over Gambit's head.
Sounds more like a misnomer to me, mon ami. Try this on for size.
Gambit throws 3 supercharged playing cards at Longshot. They explode around his head, and the concussion knocks Longshot to the ground. Beast runs past, pulling the gun away from him.
Hey! You're not supposed to do that. This is my show. No fair. No fair. No fair.
Realizing that this is not the real Longshot, Storm draws on the energy around her and creates a lightning bolt that strikes the fallen assailant. There is an explosion, and it is revealed that he was a robot.
Curiouser and curiouser. Cheap robots are not Mojo's usual modus operandi. He tends to favor much more realistic toys. If you ask me, there's something not quite right about this setup.
In a control complex not far from where the Beast is standing, the red-haired man who abducted the child mutant while calling himself Archie Kincaid watches not only Storm, Gambit, and the Beast, but Wolverine and Jean Grey as well. The red-haired man's employer watches on monitors in another room, in contact with his employee by radio.
That was foolish. They'll figure out what's going on.
But that's half the fun. Besides, what do you care? You're paying me and Ms. Locke to test the whelp's power.
That's right. I didn't hire you to hurt anybody. That includes the X-Men.
The X-Men are purely for my entertainment. You have no say in the matter. I want them to know it is I before I kill them. Oh, don't worry. Their deaths won't affect our contract. And I can promise you those deaths will come very soon.
The red-haired man laughs maniacally as he presses a series of switches. On the monitors, they can see several other X-Men advancing on Storm, Gambit, and the Beast.
It seems their captor is going to use their own teammates against Storm, Gambit, and the Beast. Which X-Men is he going to choose to use against our heroes?
Oh,
Press
no.
3 for Cyclops, Jubilee, and Bishop. Press 4 for Jean Grey, Wolverine, and Cable. Select 3 or 4 now.
Okay, hold on. Okay, these guys are obviously imposters, but they still are very powerful. Let's see. Bishop, Jubilee, and... who's the other one? Cyclops. Okay. Wolverine, Jean, and Cable. I don't like Cable. I never have. I don't know why, but he's just... I don't know. I don't like him. Okay, so... lesser of two evils. Although this is going to be really, really hard for Beast to go after Cyclops, because they are both from the first class or whatever. Oh well. Sorry, Beast. 3.
The program is launched by the stranger in the control room. And before Storm, Gambit, and the Beast can examine the remains of the robot, they are rocked by the impact of a ruby-red force beam. The impact throws them to the ground, and they can see Cyclops emerging from the shadows. Behind him are Jubilee and Bishop.
There they are. The imposters that Mojo told us we have to kill if we want to save Professor Xavier's life.
Scott, we're not imposters. Before the Beast can finish his sentence, Cyclops fires another of his optic blasts. The Beast is buried under a pile of rubble.
I do not know what kind of game this is, but it appears it's kill or be killed.
Gambit throws a half-dozen charged cards at Bishop. They explode around the black mutant as he rolls out of the way. He lands in a crouch, ready to fire his weapon.
I'd much prefer that you were the real thing right now, knowing that it is Gambit who will betray his teammates and ruin the future from where I came.
Bishop pulls the trigger, but Gambit is already out of the line of fire.
Man, you talk too much.
Gambit picks up and charges a large piece of rock, loosened by Cyclops' blasts. He throws it at Bishop. The explosion knocks Bishop against the wall. Meanwhile, Storm is confronted by Jubilee, the youngest of the X-Men. She insists that despite her youth, she can fight when she has to. Jubilee is about to attack Storm, when Storm uses her mutant powers to create a lightning bolt that causes Jubilee to explode, revealing another robot. Gambit follows her lead and uses his cards to destroy the Cyclops robot as she gets rid of the Bishop lookalike. The imposters out of the way, Gambit and Storm help Beast back to his feet. He is shaken, but not seriously hurt. Once he has regained his senses, he notices that the explosions have revealed a room beyond the tunnel's stone wall.
What is in that room? Press 1 if it is the control room from where their captor is manipulating things. Press 2 if it is Wolverine and Jean Grey. Press 3 if it is the young mutant that Cerebro had located and who was abducted by Archie Kincaid. Okay, it's up to you. Press 1, 2, or 3 now.
3! Let's find this kid!
The X-Men go through the hole to find a room full of computer equipment. In the middle of the room is a glass tube, and inside the glass tube is an unconscious teenager. Before they can investigate further, there is an explosion, and one of the walls crumbles. Through the dust, they can see their teammates.
Jean, Wolverine, are you all right?
Just barely. You?
Before Storm can answer, a silver robot appears through the hole created by Wolverine's claws. He aims a huge gun at Jean Grey. The robot prepares to fire when Gambit throws a chair at it. The chair explodes, destroying the inhuman device.
How many of those things are running around here?
That's the first one we've seen.
The Beast, who has been examining the equipment in the room, calls the others to his side. He explains that the teen is the mutant that they have been tracking, and that the kid's life is in danger from all the tests that have been conducted.
Then let's get the kid out of there.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist that you leave the child alone.
The X-Men's host enters the room. He is the red-haired man in the white suit and polka dot bow tie.
Arcade.
Arcade is a professional assassin who turned his inventive genius to creating ways to murder people.
Right the first time. I was hired to run some tests on this whelp, and you had the poor taste to intrude. I tried to keep you away with my sentinels, but you broke into my home anyway. I guess I shall have to kill you now.
You and what army, bub?
Do you really want to know?
Whose voice was that? Press 3 if you want it to be Mr. Sinister. Or press 4 if you want it to be Apocalypse. Press 3 or 4 now.
Let me think. I'm trying to remember who I chose last time. I think I chose Mr. Sinister last time, so... No, I chose Apocalypse last time. So let's go with Mr. Sinister. 3.
As the X-Men watch, Arcade's features change. He sheds the white suit and slightly foolish expression. He grows several inches. His skin becomes chalk white, and his hair coal black. The transformation is complete with a suit of black body armor and a cloak made of shreds of black fabric.
Mr. Sinister?
Correct.
No! Dang it! I chose the wrong one. Hold on. I chose him the last time. Sorry, guys.
You and what army, bub?
Do you really want to know?
Whose voice was that? Press 3 if you want it to be Mr. Sinister. Or press 4 if you want it to be Apocalypse. Press 3 or 4 now.
4. Sorry.
My army, if need be.
Emerging from the shadows is a tall, gray-skinned being in blue battle armor. This is Apocalypse, one of the X-Men's most dangerous foes.
This child is the most powerful mutant ever born on Earth. It is destined to lead the 12, the mutants who will rule this planet when the mutant-human war is finally over.
Apocalypse lays his hand on the glass tube.
It is this child who will win that war by killing the human race. The tests I had Arcade run proved this.
What are you going to do?
Take it with me, so that I may groom it for its glorious future.
We ain't gonna let you do that.
You cannot stop me. That don't mean we won't try.
Let me tell you something. If this child is left on Earth without my supervision, without my facilities to control its growth, then it will never learn to harness its power. It will destroy all life on this planet, human and mutant. Do you want that to happen?
Professor Xavier has facilities to help mutants.
You can do nothing. This child is far beyond your capabilities. Your only choice is to give the child over to me.
That ain't gonna happen.
What if he's telling the truth?
What if he's lying? We can't let him take the kid.
Actually, you cannot stop me. This conversation was long enough to set everything into motion.
There is an explosion which knocks the X-Men to the floor. When the smoke clears, Apocalypse and the teen are gone. So is Arcade.
Now what do we do?
This isn't over. Apocalypse will be back. We'll deal with him then.
That doesn't help the poor kid now.
If only we had the option to replay our lives.
That is where you come in, my friend. You can get the X-Men to replay this adventure and lead them to a completely different ending. All you have to do is stop my tape and rewind it. The next time you play this program, be sure to make different choices, and then the story will be completely different. I have many surprises hidden in my memory banks. Okay, please rewind my tape now.
Okay, Fiona and Lila. I'm sorry, dear. I'm so sorry. I hope you enjoyed this alternate version of this story. I had no idea that Apocalypse would like end things so prematurely like that. But that's the way these tapes work. There is one ending that really, really stinks on these tapes. And if you should choose it, the only way you can fix it is if you go back to the beginning and do it all over again. So, I hope you enjoyed that tape. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And welcome to my new subscribers. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you will know whenever I upload new content. God bless, and I will see you in the next video.